Good evening. This is Tony Prince. During the Rolling Stones tour of the USA, Mick Jagger stopped off to talk to Radio Luxembourg in Florida. This interview, conducted by Howard Pearce on our behalf, now follows and includes some great Rolling Stone sounds.
1981 tour on its way, 15 dates done so far, and they've all been the outside concerts. Why the outside ones first, indoor ones still to come?
Yeah, well, basically, though we've done 2 indoor ones. We're doing the outdoor ones we had to catch the weather, basically in the East Coast, and so we had to start off. I would have preferred to do it the other way around.
You've got 2 sets, 2 complete stage sets for the outside blocks. You've got a complete wide set for the big arenas, but inside is quite a bit different. You haven't had a lot of time to rehearse on the indoor one.
Well, we didn't have any time to rehearse on the outdoor one either. I mean, we've rehearsed already on the indoor one, and so we're going to rehearse another 3 days on it. But we don't think, we have like 25 shows to do on it, and by about the 5th show we'll have it down. I mean, the lighting people are the ones that have to rehearse as well as us, because this is like some sort of, because outdoors we've been playing mostly in the afternoon, so we play some night shows. But this is like, the indoor one is like, if you want, the outdoor show makes all the money, and the indoor one, it makes money, but it's much more work, and, it's much more people involved, and it's a light show, as well as a sound show, and you can actually see the performers more or less.
Now, how much is there in the setting up? Obviously, yourself and the lads in the band are all involved in the music side of it, but how much of the other side, organising the stage? After all, you've got to work on it, where the lights go, things like that. So you employ your own experts to do it, but you must tell them how to do it.
Well, yeah, as you said so rightly, what most people don't understand is that, they say, well, why do you get so involved in it? Well, you're the one that has to work on the stage. And I have to work on the stage, and and the only stage that's going to be really right is one I've designed, or at least helped to design, because otherwise it's going to be a mishmash. So you do have to do a lot of work on it if you want to get it right. And it's very tedious a lot of times, and practical. It's just silly, and you make the silliest mistakes, and you laugh at yourself, But I find it great fun as well. It's fun to design your own things, and you've got people to sit behind and say, hey, you're over the top, or this will never work practically, or this may work, let's test it, and all that. And you have to know where to draw the line with your own silly ideas.
So how far in advance are you setting up a tour? I mean, this is now 1981. When did you start sorting out the 1981 tour?
In August of 1980. We started planning it, and we designed the stage list actually about 2 months ago. We didn't design them ahead, so they cost us a lot more money because we were messing about.
So, you've got yourself on tour. How do you get the band together to rehearse? You're all doing solo things, and I've been told that it's a case of sometimes you actually change the schedule around literally on stage, and you do change your sets. I mean, even the 2 dates you've done here in Orlando, you changed around the numbers you played.
Well, not very much. I mean, to be honest, we don't change the outdoor set. The numbers very much, because they have to be more or less the same things, because you can't hear very well outdoors, and you've got to really be reliable. Once you've got set down, you don't want to screw up in front of all those people horrendously. But what we found is that a lot of people come to both shows of an outdoor show, like about 20%, so we've got to change it around a bit,
Well, the whole of Orlando seems to be walking around in Rolling Stones t-shirts, and every radio station in town seems to be playing the music, which is good news. Now, going back to my point of how do you get the band together to rehearse, you've all got your solo things. You're all living in different parts of the world. How on earth do you get together to sort things out for a tour?
No, just say the tour starts on, whatever it does, or rehearsals starting June the 1st, and you better be there. But if you give people enough notice, I guess they, will go along with it. It's difficult, as you say, when you've got people doing their own things, to give them a month's notice, but, give them 2 months' notice. I hope they turn up.
You find it easy enough to sort of fit in?
Yeah, it's easy enough.
One thing that's worried a lot of rock artists, especially of your stature, the assassination of John Lennon. Paul McCartney immediately said, no more gigs. It even caused the split up of the band. Denny Lane wanted to go off and do his own thing. It's a possibility, isn't it? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, there's a lot of nutters about, you know, that you don't run into one on the same moment.
You've been gigging for 20 years now, almost. 20th anniversary coming up next year. What inspires Mick Jagger and the rest of the lads to keep going? And how do you keep going? That was a 2.5-hour set today, running about all over the stage. A lot of energy went into that.
Well, you know, I don't really know, I can't speak for anyone else, but I mean, I haven't really done a lot of shows recently, so I figure, you know, that's what I do best, so I better see if I can do it. And you have to work hard at it. I mean, you know, it's money for old rope, really, but you can't give people a really bad show. You've got to really do your stuff, you know. As long as you keep them, you know, as long as you can do, you know, as long as you can keep them interested, then, you know, and the music sounds good, then you feel good. I mean, especially these kind of outdoor things, which are very good timing. You know, they're not kind of, they don't have a lot of tension. I don't know what you thought, but they don't have a lot of tension in them, and mostly people out to have a good time. And but then again, tomorrow we're playing in a theatre in Atlanta, which is only like 2,000 seats, so that's pretty small after coming off of 15 shows. So we're going to feel different tomorrow. So yeah, every day is a different day, you know. So that keeps you motivated.
I was going to say, it must be difficult, having seen a video of a whole compilation of your stuff put together. When your album Tattoo came out, EMI Records played us a complete video, dating back to 1963, the first British tour. It's amazing. You've got to keep that energy going. How on earth do you go out and say, it's certainly got to be as good, if not better than last time? And that's the standard to keep up.
Well, I think it's got to be different. If you do it differently, even if it's the same songs, you keep your interest up, you know. But, you know, it's all, that's why I like these stages that have different places to move on them. And, you know, it gives you a lot more variables of what to do, especially in all these very big halls.
I like the idea of the big turntable coming out right over the audience. Who thought of that, you?
Well, I mean, I nicked it from David Bowie, I think, but I mean, he didn't do it outdoors, he did it indoors. But they need that to put the nuts and bolts in the top, so it's nice. It's just lying there, just a piece of you. What it is, it's called a cherry picker for the people that are listening, right? And it just goes like about 80 foot into the audience and about 80 foot into the air, and it sort of swings in.
Very quickly, you mentioned the new single coming up at yesterday's concerts. It's going
actually, we haven't. I mean, I don't know. It's probably going to be Waiting on a Friend, but you know, it's not for another week or two. I don't make a decision.
It's not
it's like Hang Fire, that album.
It's not a definite thing yet.
No, not really. No.
But you do the choosing, do you?
Well, no. Keith and I think should be Waiting on a Friend.
Very briefly, what comes next for the Rolling Stones? More gigs next year? Why no world tour, for instance? Why no gigs outside America?
Well, I don't know. Why not really? We obviously have got to tour elsewhere. I mean, it's not as if there's no money. There's plenty of money. It's just to get up for them. We just haven't done it for a long time, so we should really do probably in the order like Australia, Europe, like that, because we can go to Australia in the winter and it's easy to tour Europe. Touring Europe in the winter is a bit of a hassle with the weather.
Any for England?
Oh yeah. I mean, at least we have to do like 12 gigs in England, at least 12, you know, if not more.
And that's likely in 1982, yes?
Yeah, in the spring.
And what about records coming up?
Well, that's the thing, see, what we should really do is for me to go in the studio. Because otherwise, if we go back on the road, we won't make another record. There won't be a new record until, like, if we go to Europe this spring, that lasts through the summer, so there won't be another record until this. Well, I mean, at least to the autumn, if not the Christmas, and that's hopeful. See, that's the problem that you always run into. And then by the time you've made a record, you've got off the road, and you say, well, what? I don't fancy touring out now, you know.
Are you going to get a case of time home for Christmas or whatever? Because you must spend most of your life living out of a suitcase and, like now, in hotel rooms.
Yeah, well, Christmas is, you know, we don't do gigs at Christmas. We used to do Christmas Eve. There's a big money night, actually, if I remember. I don't see us doing Christmas Eve this year. So we go right up to the December the 19th, I think, on this tour.
Mick, I wish you and the lads well on the American tour. I know you're not even halfway yet. You've been very successful. Sellouts, and very, very quickly. You must be pleased with that.
Yeah, well, I'm very, very pleased so far. Just keep my fingers crossed that everything happens all right. Thank you.
Mick, thank you.
Bye-bye.